Good evening, everyone, and welcome to TNN News Raw. I'm your host, Mr. Tommy Sotomayor, live back in Phoenix. The story I'm about to tell you is another story of a beautiful black queen. A beautiful black queen who just so happened to have 4 children. A beautiful black queen who, while sitting at home, she just had the misfortune to not have heat in her home. This brand new home that she was given. Because, of course, the more kids you have that you can't afford to take care of, the great white daddy called the United States government will come in and give any one of these black queens a castle. And this castle, well, it may have not come with a moat, and it also didn't come with, well, heating. Sort of. Because apparently the stove worked. So this black queen decided to turn the stove on and let the front down and try to heat her and her babies up. In the process, the home was set on fire. And if you think this is the end of the story, you just take a look.
This was supposed to be the beginning.
Everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right.
Tanisha Stewart had just moved into this North Minneapolis home with her 3 children, all under the age of 7.
I try to do any and everything in my power to try to get him out of there.
Saturday night, firefighters responded to the home on the 2700 block of Penn Avenue North.
There was a large volume of fire in that structure when crews arrived. Heavily involved in the interior of the structure, the visibility is virtually zero.
Firefighters found the bodies of 2 of the children on the first floor. The third, found on the second floor, was taken to the hospital and died there.
I'm really hurt. This really don't hit me right here.
Minneapolis Fire says it started in the kitchen and the stove was open.
I tell them why to turn oven on and all day, all night.
The homeowner did not want to give his name but said he had called someone to fix the heating system. Saturday night, temperatures dipped into the 40s.
And I call them, I say, well, I need right away. And then they come, they say, okay, 8 o'clock morning today, they came. Now, everything gone.
They are not a heating appliance like a furnace. That is not what they're used. They're used for cooking and not heating.
Minneapolis Fire says the home was last inspected in January with working smoke detectors and no violations.
We come before you today, Lord Jesus.
Pastor Harding Smith says the family went to Spiritual Church of God and had just lost a 6-month-old in July. Now the community has gone from welcoming this family to the neighborhood to saying goodbye.
I love my children. I do anything in the world for my children. I should be the one who dad, not them. That's how much I love my children.
In Minneapolis, Heidi Wigdahl, KARE 11 News.
Before I continue, I'd like to thank the young man who sent me the story. His name is Mike Borderly, and his Twitter is at MikeBoardley. And the reason I mention it right now is because that beautiful black queen that you hear that said, it should have been me that was dead. I loved it, my kids. That beautiful black queen, that Mother Earth, the one that I frequently refer to as the worst steward of children on the planet. Well, after that first heartwarming thing where the minister was out there in his purple people eater jersey on, praying for the fact that this woman not only got 3 kids dead now, but somehow had another kid that died earlier in the year, which was just, what was it? They said 16 months or 13 months old. So that means this bitch got 4 kids younger than 7. Well, guess what they found out? The story that this bitch, this incoherent story that she told, you know how black bitches like DNA to get in front of a camera and act a motherfucking fool. Did you not notice that it wasn't number of bitches up there laying on each other? Well, here's the part that Mr. Mike Borderly wanted me to know. They are now looking at it that the woman was not in the house when her kids burned up. That she was actually out. That she was actually drunk while she was doing that interview. Take a look.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. We begin with new details coming out about the North Minneapolis fire that claimed the lives of 3 young children. According to a search warrant we obtained today, authorities believe that the mother of the children was not home at the time of the fire.
And authorities add that the lack of an adult presence was a factor in the children's deaths.
Now, before we move on, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, But I want to just tell you how stupid the American black woman is, how much of a jackass she is. The woman said she'd do anything for her kids, but she didn't have any burn on her, any smoke, any nothing. She said she would do anything for them, except for not have more of them because she can't take care of the ones she has. She said she'd do anything for them except for not pick an adequate father for them. And lastly, let me tell you what this bitch named these children, these retarded ass black women. Listen to the names of these 3 children. The 6-year-old's name is Latorius, Latorious. The 5-year-old's name is Latora, Latora. The 1-year-old's name, Latoriana, Latorianna. Black bitches are the dumbest motherfuckers on earth. And finish the story.
Heidi Wigdahl has more details in tonight's top story.
More than a week later, the scene at 2755 Penn Avenue has changed. So has the story police believe to be true. According to investigators, Tanisha Stewart said the family was using an oven that Saturday night to heat the home they had just moved into earlier that day. A fire later killed her 3 children, all under the age of 7.
I believe all that to be true. I do not believe that she was present.
Sergeant Sean McKenna is requesting Stewart's cell phone records to try and figure out where she was when the fire started. The search warrant filed Friday in county court stated Stewart told investigators she was asleep on the first floor when she smelled smoke, then went outside asking for help. This is what she told KARE 11 a day after the fire.
I try to do any and everything in my power to try to get him out of there.
But in the search warrant, a fire investigator who interviewed her at the scene said Stewart showed no signs of having been inside the home at the time. No soot, smell of smoke, or signs she had inhaled it. The investigator noted she smelled of alcohol. The warrant states the lack of a, quote, competent adult inside the home with 3 young children under the age of 7 is a factor in their deaths.
We feel badly for everyone involved. We're just trying to establish what happened and why.
McKenna said it's too early to be talking about possible charges. The family spokesperson, Pastor Harding Smith, says they will respond after the funeral. Services for the 3 children are set for this Saturday at Spiritual Church of God in Robbinsdale.
So sad. Thank you, Heidi.
Son of a bitch! The Black Queen has struck again. The worst motherfucking mother on the planet. The black woman in America is the worst, the absolute worst fucking option you could have if you were a kid. The worst fucking option you could have if you are a man and you fuck around and get anybody pregnant. If you could randomly get anybody pregnant and you ask a group of 100 men, if you know who the person was, you just knew you had to raise a kid with this person. I guarantee you, I would bet my life that the majority, and I mean 96% of those people, would choose anybody other than a black woman because of shit like this. This nasty bitch sat right there and pretended that she was in that house with them kids, when you could look at that woman and tell she was not in that house with them kids. And whenever someone says it should have been me, and I want y'all to remember, the story is that woman said she was asleep, that she opened up the heat because she didn't have heat. Now I want you to understand, right now Scarface sits in jail, $500,000 behind on child support. This bitch was allowed to have 4 children and couldn't even afford her own place, and the state came in and gave her a place. They didn't say to her, you cannot afford to have the 2 children you have, you can't have a 3rd one. You cannot afford to have the 3 children you have, you can't have a 4th one. And if they don't do an investigation to see if she killed that youngest one, the infant, before the 3 died in the fire, they really don't give a crap. The fact that she hasn't been arrested yet, the fact that anybody could look at that interview and tell she's lying off her ass, the fact that anybody can look at that interview and tell she's drunk right there. This woman cared more about going out and getting some new dick, some strange dick, and it's some nigga out there that's probably fucking this woman, probably was trying to fuck her that night. Yet another case of a young black woman who looks old because they swear that black don't crack, who has kids indiscriminately because she can. If the government right now took that safety net from these whores, I guarantee you things would change. But they know this. They go to their white daddy, and I guarantee you that them kids probably got some baby daddy right now on child support, several baby daddy on child support, because there was no father there. None. How many times are you guys gonna watch these stories, these news stories of these people begging for money after their kids burn up in the fire, a fire that they themselves caused, in a house that they couldn't even afford, that they were given? And I guarantee this black bitch tell the world, I was in schools, talking like slavery just ended 3 seconds ago before the damn interview. I loved my kid, and I would do anything. This is the problem. This is why the majority of black people are ignorant, because of the stupid, retarded, motherfucking inbred people that's having them. That's right. We love to claim that white people are inbred, but there's nobody in the United States more inbred than black Negroes. Let me tell you why. Because the majority of black folks never leave their city. Also, the majority of black bitches have kids by several different dudes. So now you have kids who are born by several different fathers, and fathers go out and have kids with several different women, and those kids grow up all in the same neighborhood because nobody ever leaves. In the process of never leaving, those kids grow up fucking each other. A lot of those kids have no idea that they're related. Why? Because the mothers have no idea who got them pregnant. The majority of black pussy in the United States is a petri dish of disgusting shit. A bunch of niggas coming in the same bitch. That's a fact. That's why 48% of them have herpes. That's why they have the largest number of new AIDS cases. That's why they have the largest numbers of pretty much any STD you can think of. It's them. That's why they have the largest number of kids by multiple men than any other race. Yet I'm the one making them look bad. I apparently made this woman kill her children, get in front of the camera, tell a fucking lie. Black women have to be the most heartless motherfuckers on planet Earth. You just killed your kids. They burned up in a fire, and your fucking lying ass sit right there and pretended like you was in the house with them, without a burn on you, without smoke on you, without nothing, you nasty bitch. You left them kids at home with the stove open, figuring that the 7-year-old could keep the 5-year-old, could keep the 3-year-old. That was your logic, wasn't it, bitch? And when they died, you didn't feel a bit of remorse. Just like the black bitch who shot her kid in the head. Just like the other black bitch who had her kids burn up in the fire. Just like the other black bitch who did it. Just like the other black bitch who kids end up dead. All of them, every one of them had no remorse. Every one of them lied about where they were. The one lied, and the only way they found out she was lying was they saw the videotape from across the street that she was coming home from the club and went inside of the place where the kids were. Do you understand that this woman has long fake eyelashes on, but not enough money to have electric heat in the house? Not enough sense to stay in the house with her children. You left 3 children alone after you'd already lost another one. And you got that fake ass pastor running around saying this family's met so much tragedy. So much tragedy? This bitch couldn't even ask one of you church members to keep her kid while she go out on her drinking binge. That's how disgusting the black chick is. No matter how much dick she gets, it's not enough. No matter how many kids she has, she gives a shit about any of them. And right now, again, Scarface is in jail for taking up for this bitch. Scarface, I want you to remember, you took up for these whores. Same whores has got you in jail. You said they don't know no better. So it's very hard for any of us to feel sorry for you because you said they don't know any better. Well, they know what to do when it comes to lying about the death of their kids, and they know what to do when it comes to putting you and other black men in jail. Now again, where are the protests? Where the Black Lives Matter? Where the black folks standing up? If you can stand up against cops choking out black men, and I'm gonna give you that, they shouldn't choke out black men. If you can stand up against cops choking or possibly hanging Sandra Bland's of the world, I can give you credit. They shouldn't do that. Well, where the fuck are you black motherfuckers at when it comes to all these women? Because as I told y'all, there are way more black women killing way more black people than it is any cop or any white woman. And they tell you right now, your mama black, your mama black. Well, guess what the fuck? All 4 of them damn kids dead right now. All 4 of them kids mama black. But guess what? It's gonna be a bunch of motherfuckers more upset at what I've said right here, which is the truth, than what she's done, which was murder. None of you will stalk this woman. None of you will put her information out. None of you will call her a coon, a sellout. None of you will fuck with her at all. She will still somehow remain a queen. And then when the story finds out that me and the white folks were telling the truth, she'll somehow get a slap on the wrist. Because the BT-1000 must continue to do its job. Cyberdyne System has put out one of the best models ever. The BT-1000 is literally a killing machine. She is a breeding and killing machine. She is destroying the black community as a whole. And y'all talking about coons? Do you see coons sitting up there lighting motherfucking kids on fire, you stupid bastards? Do you see house niggas putting motherfuckers in jail? But you motherfuckers will concentrate on shit that don't bother you because you're afraid of the black bitch that bore you. This killing machine. This whore you call a queen. All hail to this bitch. Oh, and P.S. Did you not notice that yet again, this black bitch does not have the ability to even muster one tear to come out of her eyes?
It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead.
Did you notice that she sat right there and supposedly was crying with the other bitch, and neither one of them had a tear roll down their face? You just found out that your kids died in what has to be one of the most, if not the most, horrible way to die. People who were upset about what happened with Paul Walker actually cried real tears. People at Michael Jackson's concerts actually cried real tears. Black women, apparently they didn't equip the BT-1000 with tear ducts. It has the ability to make the sound of crying, but it doesn't have the ability to draw the water, and I don't know why. This bitch is evil, and she's brought death and destruction to the black community. And you can hate me all you want. The truth, you can't deny it.
Beastie's back! Beastie's back! Beastie Montana was just the beginning, yet these beasties back. All eyes on us, cause we destined for riches. We ain't stunting you niggas, and we don't fuck with you bitches, nah.